Justine Leslie here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and thank you for tuning into this video. This is the Collective Consciousness reading for the week of the 26th. I have my spread already spread out here, and we're good to go. I actually decided to use my numerology deck, which is right over here, this deck here, and then also I switched it up and did this deck as well, the Kyle Gray deck, which is the Angels and Ancestors, right? Each one means something different, so I'm going to go ahead and start because I'm super excited to see what we have going on for the collective consciousness in the upcoming week. Let me go ahead and sip my tea. Okay, guys. Good to go. Okay, so the first lot here we have the strengths of the week. So here we go. Okay, this is good because usually this comes up in lack. So here we go, guys. We have the Patience card. So what's coming through actually is that this week, obviously, one of our strengths is going to be patience. And like I said, it's usually showing up in the weakness, right? Usually it's not something that comes naturally to a lot of people. This tells me that we've been working as a collective consciousness on our reactions and not being so reactive, which is a really great thing, right, guys? Because we want to be able to master our emotions, and we want to be able to master how we feel, right? Because let's not forget, obviously everybody's feelings are valid. At any point, any given time you have a feeling, obviously completely valid. They're yours, and you can feel what you need to feel. I'm saying that because after that is done, we can, and what I mean done is after we have felt it, acknowledged it, then we actually have the power to release it and change how we feel. So that's how people kind of prevent themselves from reacting, is because they are in more control and they're more of the witness of their feelings instead of reacting on it, right? Of being very short with it, impatient with it, right? But this is telling me that you guys have really been putting in work in mastering your emotions, and again, mastering how you react. This could be anywhere from really letting things go and detaching, and also and a lot of acceptance and a lot of meditation as far as like the physical thing goes, right? It's like what can we actually do to help us in that area? And meditation is, I always say this, meditation is always the answer. So if that is what's going on, keep doing it. If you are practicing acceptance and letting go and all of that good stuff, it's definitely coming to fruition this week. So good job on that, and this will come in handy. I'm having a feeling we're going to come up with a couple of different challenges through this reading. So this patience is really going to come in handy. So awesome. And I just also want to point out it's orange, right? So anytime we ever see the orange, that color in general is really linked to a lot of personal empowerment, leadership qualities, confidence, things like that. So you guys you're noticing this too. This is probably nothing new that I'm saying. Basically, like you're like, oh my gosh, I can definitely notice a way in my relationships and how I communicate and how I react and all that good stuff. So you're actually noticing that. And it is bringing a confidence and a personal empowerment, because it is personal empowerment when we can control our feelings, right? And we can control our actions, and we can be the witness instead of being in it, right? We're actually removing ourselves from it. Because again, emotions and feelings are completely valid, but they're actually just temporary, and they are just they just want to be released, basically, and they do not define us. They're part of us, but they do not define us. So everybody's kind of moving like a little bit more in that direction, like even if it's just like a little bit, every little step counts. So it's amazing. Okay, so that's really good for the strengths. Now what about the weaknesses for the week? Interesting. Okay, we got this one last week, I think, on the collective consciousness. Okay, so, and it contradicts a little bit of the strengths, but basically what's happening here is that we have the guardian angel. And when this card usually comes up, it's pretty much saying, I communicate with angels or guides. We all have guides to lean on when we need support, love, guidance, all that good stuff. But it feels like that's a little bit cut off this week, and again, it seems like I said earlier, that there might be some trials and tribulations this week. And one of our weaknesses, obviously, is that we're not giving it, we're not asking our guides or something bigger than ourselves, universe, whatever you want to say, God, divine source, higher power. You're just not leaning on them enough. And I can't say this enough. I say it in my readings, guys. I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on my Facebook page. Please join me if you can to read cards. And I say it pretty much every single time that I do, is that they are really, our guides are there for our help and for us to ask for the help. But we have to ask for it, right? And how do we ask for it? Praying, right, is a good example. So that seems like a weakness this week, but knowing this up front can kind of prevent that. So don't forget to ask for help from our guides, okay? And again, it seems like we're kind of going to need it. Seems like a little bit of a rough week, so. Okay, so this one here is what's happening romantically. And this is interesting. So basically, we have health. So I have a feeling I know what this is about. So basically what's coming up here is that our wellness is affecting our love lives. And this is not necessarily particular for anybody that's in a relationship or anybody that's single, but our relationships really depend on our wellness. I see a lot of people being very stressed out or putting their dating lives or their relationships on the back burner because we are so stressed and we are overworking ourselves and we're not putting it as a priority. Guys, relationships are a priority. They are. And I understand, and somebody that is a workaholic myself, I totally get what is coming through here. I totally get it. But it's really, really important this week that we can switch that mindset about putting our relationships second. Okay, we should be putting our relationships first. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that we quit our jobs to make more time for our relationships, our romantic relationships? No, that's not what that means. It means committing to maybe, and I actually just said this, any step forward is a good step forward. So baby steps, basically, right? So if you guys can, if you're in a relationship, maybe that means committing to a date night once a week or something like that, but really committing to it, right? So that means if it's Friday night and your boss tells you to work late or asks you to work late, the answer is no. It's all about boundaries, right? And little things like that. If you're single and you want to commit to going on a couple of dates a month, make that commitment and keep that commitment. It's kind of all about priorities, and definitely our relationships are priorities. I totally get if you're single and that's not, like, dating is not a priority for you right now. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people that really want to make it a priority, because it's totally fine, and this is most of my life, is where it's not in the forefront of what I want. But if you're single and you're deep down that you do want a partnership, it's really, really important that we prioritize that, right? And also take care of ourselves, guys. We can't be stressed out and meet new people, and we can't be stressed out and have a successful, loving, healthy, and very conscious relationship, right? So pay attention to that this week. Now that we know it up front, it's important to try to shift that mindset for the week, okay? But I wouldn't be surprised if there are some commitments broken or some realizations that maybe you aren't doing the best in the current relationship that you have, or you're not putting everything out there. It's almost like this is like a big accountability card, right? We're not really doing all we can to meet somebody if you're single, for example, and want somebody, right? I said, if you're single and you're totally fine where you are, cool, that's awesome. But if you really deep down want somebody, really take a look at, are you making space and are you making room for it? Okay, that was an interesting one. Okay, what's going on personally? Sometimes this has something to do with friendships and things like that, so let's take a look. Okay. So this is actually interesting. So, I know I keep saying interesting, right? A lot of people say that a lot. Okay, here we go. But there's no other way to say it, So winter comes up. All right, so this is for the personal. So this actually doesn't have to do with any, so personal can mean a bunch of different things, right? And usually when I say personal, sometimes family and friends come up, because that's your personal life, But this is actually pertaining to just you. And it says winter, take care of your needs. Guys, this piggybacks off of the last one, and I'm talking to you workaholics that don't give yourself enough self-care, but you are going to be totally lacking this week. So like I said, and I see the issues that are coming up for the week, we're working a little too hard, working a little too much. And by the way, we're in January, okay? I'm in New York, so we have all the 4 seasons, and we have winter. We have it pretty bad. And what I mean by that is that it's snowing and the flu, and like, I get on the subway and somebody sneezes, and I'm down for the count for a while. But so we have to take extra good care of ourselves, right? So overworking right now is probably not the best thing to be doing for wellness, right, and for health. But it's really talking about taking care of yourself, take care of your needs. If you have to work from home one day, please do that. If you have to take a day off, please do that. If you need to get a massage over the weekend or do some type of energy healing, go ahead and do that. It's really important that we listen to our intuition, right? That's my thing. Listen to your intuition and see what you actually need. You know when you're overworking yourself. You are exhausted. You are negative. You are just not in a good place. You know yourself, right? So really, winter means rest, right? Rest and recharge. So definitely look into that this week, okay? Do what you need to do. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. All right, this next one is for what's going on work-wise. So we have the Sun card, enjoy success and happiness. Guys, I have been feeling this all last week as well, and I had a feeling that this would come up, is that we are doing so well work-wise. And maybe, a lot of us are overworking ourselves because we really like our jobs, and we really like what we're doing. But I'm also feeling from this card that there's a lot of opportunities that are coming up in different ways. Like, it's almost like saying, like, keep an open mind. So if you're actually unemployed and you're looking for work, I can definitely see a few opportunities rolling in for you this week. If you are looking for a new opportunity and happen to be employed, I definitely see opportunities for you as well. There could also be opportunities within the current role that you have, or opportunities within, if you're an entrepreneur, within your business. So I see, so sun is bright, sun is, something brand new, and it's really, really joyful and really, really bright. So things look great. So the other thing too, just to add to this, for these opportunities, it doesn't necessarily mean to take every opportunity. Please weigh the opportunities. And this is where intuition comes in again, right? Is that we need to kind of make sure that not, like, just because we're being presented opportunities doesn't mean it's the one that's for us or aligned with who we are or aligned with our soul wants, okay? And also a lesson that I've been personally learning is that just because you're good at it doesn't mean that you should be doing it, or it's something that fulfills you, right? Because we could be good at certain things, but it's not necessarily what our soul wants, right? So keep that in mind. Okay, but it also, like, guys, I also believe something like this is coming up often, because it's really showing us that everything is in abundance. So this is super important, and this is such a good lesson for this week, and it's good for our confidence, which makes a lot of sense. That's our strength for this week, right? It's like confident, calm, peaceful, like that kind of energy. So that's really good. Okay, so what do we need extra clarity on going into this week? Let's take a look. Oh, interesting. Interesting again. Okay, so we have the parenting card here. So I know as a collective consciousness, and like I said, it's the majority of our souls that are connected. And I know, including myself, I'm not a parent. This could be parenting energy. And what I mean by that is that I still have to parent my inner child. I have to parent myself. And most of the time when that comes up, it's really providing yourself what you feel like you didn't get as a child, or you didn't get growing up, or in your teens, or from relationships. It's really pointing to more like parenting yourself. Okay, so let me see if I explain that okay. Yeah, so I mean, hopefully it makes sense to you guys. Again, guys, put in the comments if it doesn't, or if you have a question, or if it resonates or doesn't resonate, right? But yeah, so parenting yourself. So giving yourself the things that you need. So if you have always looked for validation from a parent, and now you're in your adult years and you realize that that's affecting you in different areas, do it for yourself. Give yourself your own validation, however that looks, right? And again, use your intuition, guys, this week. Use it always. But really listen to what you need to parent yourself. Like, where are you falling short to where are you looking for external things where you can actually give to yourself? Take a look at that this week. Take a look at that this week. Hopefully I explained that okay. And if you're an actual parent, this could obviously mean take a look at your parenting this week. And there seems like, as far as tweaks go, again, I'm not criticizing anybody's parenting skills or saying that you're not doing enough, because I'll tell you right now, it is the hardest job in the entire universe, raising a child. What's the word? I can't believe people actually do it and do it successfully, honestly. Like, more power to you, basically. But I would take a look. I think something's going to come up this week about tweaking how you parent, basically. So take a look at that. It's neither, and here's the other thing too, it's neutral, right? So it's neither good, it's neither bad. I don't really believe in good or bad. I believe in shades of gray, different perspectives, but there might be just a perspective switch on how you're parenting. So look at that. But also, if you are a parent as well, take a look at that, but also take a look at how you can parent yourself, okay? It's all about tweaks, right? I keep getting the word tweaks, but it's really just about modifying what you need this week, whether it's you're an actual parent or everybody's a child, right? Everybody has had parents at least once in their life, whether they have already passed, they're not in your lives anymore, whatever it is. But whatever you needed as a child, it seems like it's going to be, I don't want to say magnified, I want to see a parent. It's going to become a parent this week. Not a parent, a parent. Or maybe obvious, right? Okay, let's move on. So that's what you need clarity on this week. What do you need extra guidance on? So let's see, guys. Okay, so we need extra guidance. We have Shapeshifter. This one is interesting. I always say interesting. Transform and unveil your gifts. Okay, so this is about this week. It's going to be very, very clear for you, your gifts and your skills. I think that has something to do with, guys, we're killing it this week as far as work goes and confidence goes and leadership goes. So that's really amazing. So that makes sense of why your skills and what you're really good at is going to be very apparent this week and very, very clear this week and really kind of come out. This is almost like the death of doubt almost this week. I don't know what that's about. But it's really like about having more confidence in yourself and who you are as a person, and you can get shit done, and you know how valuable you are as a worker and things like that. So it seems like the theme for the week is more about like some work stuff and some, it's becoming kind of clear, it's a lot of work stuff. Obviously we talked about relationships already, but it just kind of seems like things are really good as far as people really fulfilling, working hard, working smarter, but really kind of fulfilling their personal destinies, passions, purposes, things like that. But your gifts are going to be very, very clear this week. And when I mean gifts, I mean skills as well. So you're going to really kick ass at work this week, basically. Why it came up in the guidance is because I think why it's pointing you to be very obvious to them, and that means that be very conscious of them, because you're gonna need them, basically. That's kind of like the message that I'm getting. It's like you're gonna need them. So whether that's like a new opportunity like we talked about, or is it like work is kind of gonna get kind of crazy lately, that kind of thing. But we'll see with next week, right? Like what's coming up for next week. But okay, so then last one here. What do we need some healing on this week? What could we do to get better? Guys, when I say get better, I mean that we're always healing something. It could be super exhausting because it's like, when is it done? Your healing work is never done. Unfortunately, there's always something, somewhere we can grow, and something that we can heal. So here we go. Moderation. So this is such a good card to kind of sum up the week, because again, it definitely feels like, and sometimes I put things into masculine and feminine energy if you've been watching my stuff. Masculine energy is do. Feminine energy is rest, rejuvenation, which did come up, right? Rest, rejuvenation, be in your being intuitive, which means feeling, being compassionate, like all of that stuff. But it seems like a lot of masculine energy is overpowering for this week. So basically, I believe why this came up is because we need to do all things in moderation. So again, workaholics, I'm talking to you. Moderation. Definitely feels like, and the other thing too, and this one is like actually more of a theory, is that we are in the last week of January, and I know the new year brings out a lot of, I want to achieve this goal and I want to do this, and a lot of people just, go out the gate and just do because, it's all fresh in their mind. They want to make this the best year yet, and then we burn out by February 1st. So it almost feels like that's part of it, is that like we have to, like, it's so awesome that we all want to achieve our goals and we all have big dreams, which is amazing, but we'll get there, guys. And that's part of the patience too, right? So actually, it's funny, it goes full circle. That is the strength of the week. So it feels like this week, guys, we're going to kind of get it. And we're going to kind of get it because we're going to be more patient with things. And I believe, and I wouldn't be surprised if next week's reading is more about slowing down and that kind of thing. Because again, personally, we understand that, right? We got the winter card. But this is really, really, really encouraging you to really try to do things more in balance and have more moderation, okay? And this can include anything from you started a diet from January 1st and you went really extreme about it. And now it's like, you just ate like a ton of bad stuff for you, like just yesterday, or like I said, it's probably going to happen this week or something like that. It's really important that we don't beat ourselves up, though. Let me just throw that out there. But that's usually what happens, right? When we're like super, super, super healthy and very, very strict, then we like really explode in a big way, right? And that has to do with anything. I'm just giving food as an example. But everything in moderation and everything in balance, and we're kind of going to get that this week. I do not see it being in a way where it's super drastic, and what I'm actually saying by that is that sometimes when we're doing, not taking care of ourselves, going full on, not taking breaks, not slowing down, the universe tends to break us down in a way, right? Or our body breaks down, like things like the universe will give you a break if you don't take one yourself, and that's 100% true. I don't see it being like this week. It feels like you'll figure that out on your own and nip it in the bud before anything even gets close to something like that. So I don't want to scare you guys. But again, moderation, balance, that kind of thing. Okay. What an interesting week, guys. And don't forget, I love this second one, guys. I know it came up in the weakness, but it's something also to work on this week, where we need to be asking for help. And I'm not just talking about getting an assistant at work. I'm talking about I'm not talking about human help. I'm talking about our guides. Okay, so don't forget, ask for help when you need it. Okay, guys, I hope that was super helpful to you. And I'll see you guys next week. All right, bye.